Hey everyone, who is ready for a fast, healthy, delicious weeknight meal? Ready in minutes, handful of ingredients, crowd pleasing, everyone's gonna love it. So I'm gonna share with you one of my favorites. It's my pineapple teriyaki chicken and shrimp. And sometimes I do it with chicken, sometimes I do it with shrimp. Today I'm gonna do it with both, and you can decide how you want to customize this dish for you and your family and your friends when you make it. So I'm gonna get started. I already put this pan over medium heat so it would be hot, so we wouldn't have to wait for it to get hot. And I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in the pan. So when you check out my blog, you will see I call for peanut oil or vegetable oil. I'm gonna also use olive oil. You can use whatever you want. I like peanut oil because this is an Asian dish and I love that flavor, but I had the olive oil out, so that's what I'm gonna use. It just goes to show it's like super flexible recipe. So the oil is already hot. It's already really thin in the bottom of the pan, which is great. That's what I'm going for. So you didn't have to wait. And then I've got a pound of chicken cut into bite-sized pieces. So whatever that means to you, 1 inch, 2 inch. And I used all chicken breast, boneless, skinless. You can use thighs, tenders, a mix, whatever you have. A friend of mine taught me a really cool trick when you're working with the tenders. Instead of dirtying a cutting board and a knife, you just take a pair of scissors and chop the, just cut the chicken tenders into bite-sized pieces, just either right into the pan or right into a bowl to then make it to the pan. So this I'm going to just get, so it doesn't stick, get it nice and spread around the bottom of the pan. And any skillet will work, and you can even use your wok for this. So for really super fast weeknight cooking, first of all, I love when everything's in one pan, and then I love a big skillet where everything hits the bottom of the pan a lot, and I also like a wok cooking because that's super fast as well. The thing with wok cooking, and something like this too, is a tip to get all your ingredients ready and lined up before you start, so it's boom, 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 you can just go. Because you don't want something overcooking while you're sitting there, you know, cutting up the garnishes. So I already have my garnishes ready. I have bell peppers cut up. I have shrimp already peeled and deveined. So everything's ready so that it can come together really fast. So, you know, I don't know if you follow along, I am writing my 11th cookbook now, and the whole front of the cookbook I am dedicating to getting your kitchen and your pantry prep ready. So I'm going to talk about things about what you can cut in advance, what sauces you can make in advance, dressings, what you can cook in advance and keep for 3 or 4 days, so that you are teeing yourself up for weeks and weeks and weeks of healthy, easy, fast weeknight meals, or weekend when you just want to throw something together because somebody pops over. So I'm loving that. I'm super excited. I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit to 5 or 6 on this, which is medium high, now that I know it's not going to burn. So while this is getting going, I'm going to show you how you do this sauce all in one. I'm going to do it right in my measuring cup right there. So we start with 100% pineapple juice. It's a little 6-ounce can. If you have a bigger container, we need 6 ounces, which is 3/4 of a cup. So there's my pineapple. And so this is so great. It's a great flavor because it's sweet but not too sweet. It adds a little bit of tang. I never really like to add a whole lot of brown sugar. You see a lot of teriyaki recipes with a lot of brown sugar or a lot of honey. So this has no sugar in it because you don't need it because of the pineapple juice. So that's what I love. So that's replacing, so you have something healthy replacing, you know, what some recipes call for 1/3 or 1/2 cup of brown sugar. So, and to that, looks like I'm almost out of soy sauce. I'm going to put that on my list. So I'm going to call for 3 tablespoons. I'm not going to measure though because I love soy sauce. If you like liquid aminos instead, feel free. Use I have a bottle in my refrigerator right now, so I use them interchangeably. And if you are going for gluten-free, this dish is gluten-free. Just make sure you turn over your whatever soy product you're using for the soy sauce and make sure there's no gluten in it. So there, chicken's looking awesome. Okay, so we got the pineapple, we've got the soy. Now I'm going to add a tablespoon of mirin, little sweet. It's a Japanese rice wine. I just think it balances out the flavor of the salty soy. So that was a tablespoon. I'm going to add a teaspoon of sesame oil, the dark sesame. You can see I'm running out of ingredients. Looks like I need to head to the store. But you want the dark sesame oil because it's toasted, so it gives a lot more nutty sesame flavor. in your cooking. So make sure you get a toasted one. I'll do half to a teaspoon there. This is really, you can wing it. You don't need to dirty your measuring spoons. You really can eyeball it here. And then I'm cheating a little bit with garlic powder. I didn't want the garlic to go in here. I wanted it to be not nuggets of garlic, just kind of infused throughout the sauce. You can certainly throw a clove or two in here when you throw in the bell peppers. So know that. I've just kind of become a big fan of cooking from my pantry and using really good garlic powder, granulated garlic, onion powder, granulated onion. So I know I always have it. So if I'm on a busy weeknight and I don't feel like chopping an onion or smashing a clove of garlic or grating it, then I know I always have the dried as a backup. And I do the same with my herbs. Some herbs are better fresh, like rosemary, but I have even started using parsley and cilantro when I'm going to put it in something that's going to simmer for a while, and then I finish it at the end with fresh if I have it. So this is great. The chicken is all the way brown, like not pink anymore on all sides. It's going to continue cooking in the sauce. So a couple more things. I'm going to season the chicken with salt and pepper. Love this freshly grated always. Freshly ground salt and pepper is what I always call for my recipes. It really makes a huge difference. I mean, I can smell the aroma of the pepper right now. So it really makes a big difference if you can do it. And even in the grocery store, in the spice aisle, you can buy pepper in its own little grinder. So that makes it, and salt. That makes it super convenient. So I've started saying a lot of my recipes to cook until it's fragrant, and I can smell the pepper. I can smell good things happening in the bottom of the pan, and that's when you know flavors are coming alive and evolving, because you can actually smell it. So one more thing for the sauce, and that is cornstarch. So we are going to thicken this. This sauce is going to be like a glaze, become like a syrupy glaze, which is fantastic. And the way we're going to get it there is with the cornstarch. And I'm going to add it right in the beginning, so I don't have to worry about adding it later. It'll thicken in 2 or 3 minutes, and that's all we're going to need for the chicken and shrimp to finish cooking. Shrimp will definitely cook in a minute, so we don't have to worry about that. I'm doing 2 teaspoons of the cornstarch in with the sauce. And that's it for the sauce. I mean, I was going to pre-measure all the little ingredients, and like I usually do for my YouTube videos, and then I was like, why? I can just now put all this back in the refrigerator, and I don't have to dirty anything out. I don't have to wash anything else. So there's the sauce. And it looks murky now because the cornstarch is, it is murking up the waters now, but when cornstarch is cold, it does that. And that's the other tip too. Cornstarch can't be added to a hot sauce, it will clump. So you need to dissolve it in cold, which is why in recipes you'll see it added to water before adding right at the end. But I just like putting it right in the sauce, so it's a one-stop shop. I have everything right here. And as soon as it starts to simmer and thicken, it's clear. So that's the beautiful thing about cornstarch thickening, because your sauces are always glossy, satiny, and smooth and clear. You don't have to worry about any lumps. Okay, so this is ready for me to add my bell peppers. Another thing I've become a huge fan of are those sweet mini peppers. You can buy them in the bags in the produce aisle. I love them. It's a little more work to cut up, like 8 or 9 of them for this recipe versus 1 bell pepper. But I have 3 different colors in here. So I have red, orange, and yellow. And I like those. I think they're sweeter than green, but feel free to get whatever. Obviously, the green peppers are often the least expensive in the grocery store. And they add great color. So definitely whatever bell pepper you got. But just already, look how pretty that is. That is so pretty right there. I love that. I'm just going to give this, I don't know, a minute or 2 to soften up the bell peppers a teeny bit. If we want contrasting textures, then throw the sauce in there right now. You'd have a little tender, a little crunch. But we're just going to give it a 1-minute head start on the shrimp. So let's talk about substitutions. If you want to do this with beef, so beef and shrimp like a surf and turf totally works. You can do it with pork and leave the shrimp out. So this is the most versatile sauce. This works with everything, and because it's sweet and tangy, it really works with pork, because pork just loves to hang out with like fruit-based sauces, and pineapple and pork, marriage made in heaven. So think about that. Think about substitutions. Think about what you can do to make sure you can get this on the table in 15 minutes on a Tuesday night when everybody's starving and you're tired. So I've been there, and I am still there, and I love making dishes like this that can maybe help you out, which is why in the cookbook there's going to be 100 of them. So I'm having a lot of fun doing that. So now I will do the shrimp. So this is kind of a personal choice. I'm a big fan of getting frozen shrimp to save money. Many times the shrimp that you're getting that's not frozen was frozen. So don't feel bad if you're going to the freezer aisle for your shrimp and thawing it at home. It thaws very quickly. It's often on sale. If you buy it with the shell on and the tails on, it's often less expensive, but we're taking them off anyway. So buy whatever is on sale or whatever is affordable, and any size too. So usually the larger the shrimp, the more expensive they are. And in this case, they can be any size you want. So these are large, you can go jumbo, and they're already peeled, deveined, tails off. And this is really only about 1/2 pound, but if you want to go a lot more, if you're serving more people, throw a whole pound, pound and a half of shrimp in there if you want. That works as well. And one of the things with shrimp is I have learned over the years is that we tend to overcook it. We forget that it cooks very quickly. And many years ago, I was spokesperson for a shrimp, frozen shrimp product. And they taught me that when it's a C, it's cooked. When it's an O, it's overcooked. Obviously, you saw these going in the pan. They were, because they're smaller, they were almost O's anyway. But you don't want them rubbery. You just want them opaque. So that's really something to look for. And these I wanted them to start to get opaque, and then I'm going to put the sauce in and finish this dish. So they are starting to, this little guy, he's starting to get opaque. One time in my Food Network show, it looked like that, but we had to wrap up it looked like that on one side, it was opaque, and we had to wrap up. We were in a hurry, we couldn't finish the dish, we were running out of time, and it's probably my fault, dilly-dallying, doing something, or talking like I am now. And so at the end, I bit into what was really like that on the other side. Still kind of raw. And I ate it, and I'll never forget that moment. So now, I always make sure I bite into a piece of shrimp that has been cooked. So these are all opaque, but still not cooked through. So we are ready for this fantastic sauce, my pineapple teriyaki. And, feel free to give me a comment or two about this, like what you would do to change it, what you would do to embellish it. How about hot sauce? How about sriracha? I know I'm going to serve this with sriracha because my kids love anything spicy, but maybe you would put it right in the sauce right now. So that's also a great idea. I love that store-bought chili garlic sauce. It's got the flavors of, it's like sriracha with garlic, not quite as hot. So I love that too. There's always a jar of that in my refrigerator. Just for those pantry staple, I want to make dinner with 4 things ingredients. That's one of them, the chili garlic sauce. And I have many of those. I think I give those tips many times. So all I want to do now is just bring this to a simmer, 2 to 3 minutes, and let the sauce thicken, the chicken and the shrimp cook through. And then while that's happening, it's bubbling. It looks so good and it's getting clear. I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to serve it with because I already made it for the cookbook. I already photographed it for the cookbook, and I was like, oh my God, it'd be perfect under this recipe. So it is my cilantro lime rice, and it's so easy because you just cook rice with the white part of a white onion and some garlic, and then, is that it? And broth and salt and pepper. And then when the rice is finished and you're ready to fluff it, you add the green part of the green onion, lime juice, lime zest, and a whole bunch of cilantro. So delicious, refreshing, perfect under this, perfect as any side dish, easy as pie to make. So that's something that's going to be in the cookbook, but I just told you how to make it, so you could make it on your own. So this is already thickened. The shrimp is already cooked through. I want you to dive into this right now. It is so pretty. I'm going to see if I can get it closer to you. I'm going to actually turn the heat off because it's fabulous. I mean, how fast was that? I don't know how long I've been going. I can't read the timer there, but I just literally made dinner. Yes, I had a little jump start because I had everything on my counter, but seriously, that would take you 2 minutes. So let me show you this bubbling gloriousness without spilling it on my counter. Can you see that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plate this over the rice. I am going to garnish with my pre-chopped green onions. And I had a lot of cilantro already pre-chopped from the rice. That's going on there too, because the flavors of cilantro and green onion are going to take this dish and catapult it. It's going to add floral qualities and that wonderful grassiness that you get from green onions. So there you have it, my friends. That's the whole dish. I'm going to plate it, and then I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to show you what it looks like finished, because I'm going to get it in a bowl, and I'm going to make it look pretty, and I'm going to put a fork next to it. Or maybe chopsticks, I'm not sure. But so check out my blog for the recipe. I know you're going to love this. I think it's going to become a regular part of your repertoire. And send me some messages. Let me know what you'd like me to cook. I got a new mic, so I'm testing it out, and I'm hoping the sound is really good, and that you can hear me and you can hear this. And let me know what you want me to make, because I'm having a lot of fun cooking for you all, and I love the feedback. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.